right, let's hit the field.
All right.
Just wanted to talk, that's all.
It's Saturday, June 8th, and the Yankees were trying to get back in the win column against the Dodgers after having their 8-game win streak snapped. Nestor Cortez on the mound, tough on lefties, but could he stop Shohei Ohtani? My recap, your reactions coming up next. This is NYY Recaps.
Welcome to Yankee Stadium.
Just when they thought I was out, they pull me back, kid.
How's it going, everybody? Welcome back. Thanks for joining me here at the witching hour, almost 11:02 on a Saturday night. About time to hit the club, right? I'm gonna go hit the sack. Look, I just wanted to hop on and say a few things, get a few things off my chest. You know it's gotten bad when Oswaldo Cabrera is on the mound for the Yanks. We're going to keep this moderately short tonight, but there were some things that I think need to be said after the Yankees have a humiliating loss to their potential World Series opponent if they get there, the Los Angeles Dodgers, and they lose the series, by the way. And one thing that made this worse was how many Dodger fans were in attendance. Somebody screwed up at the Yankees ticket office because they showed up en masse. Anyway, I had a couple of outraged comments from Dodgers fans this morning. International fans, I guess, and they were upset that Yankees fans have been booing Shohei and Mookie Betts and Yoshinobu Yamamoto. One of them said it was the most disrespectful thing they'd ever seen. Just wanted to point out that in professional sports, it's actually a sign of respect, especially at Yankee Stadium, to get booed by the foreign or by the opposing team's crowd. As Reggie Jackson said and Derek Jeter reiterated, they don't boo nobodies, right? If they boo you, you're doing something right. Another home run for Jason Dominguez tonight down on the farm. I don't know how much longer you can keep him down there the way he's raking and the way the Yankees offense is struggling. We saw how much life he injected into the team last year. I know he's blocked, but you got to figure out a way to get his bat in the lineup. If that means moving Judge to first base, for crying out loud, and putting DJ or Rizzo on the IL rather, so be it. Yankees have to treat these two games as a wake-up call. It became clear to me tonight that they have too many eggs in the Judge and Soto basket. Last year when Judge went down, we were shown they had way too many eggs in the Judge basket. They just fell apart. And this year, if Soto goes down, the offense seems to disappear with him, and the energy as well. I hope Hal was watching and he sees what this team looks like without Soto. But definitely got to be a wake-up call. Volpe had a hit, Judge hit a couple of home runs, but the Yankees had 6 players in the lineup hitting .235 or lower. Stanton is at .229. It is evident to me, at least, that he is overmatched at this point by the type of pitching that the Yankees would see in the playoffs if they made it. And I think they're going to be in the playoffs. But Stanton cannot hit a good slider anymore, and he's late on every fastball that's 96, 97. Now, occasionally, he runs into one, and they go out of their way, John Flaherty especially, like a frickin' broken record, will say, well, he had problems at 95 plus last year, and no problems on that one. Ignoring the last 27 fastballs at 95 plus that he missed or was late on or popped up. Look, Yanks got to do something here. If you're asking me, the way out of this situation is to call up Dominguez, send Stanton to the bench or to the IL. I'm sure he would love a 2-month vacation in Maui. If you have to DFA Grisham, you DFA Grisham. Oswaldo can be your 4th outfielder if you need him to be. And if you need a 5th outfielder, you still have Stanton. You put Jason in center, you slide Judge back to right, you make Juan Soto the DH so he doesn't have to throw with that arm. And he can just focus on hitting. And if you need, an extra outfielder, you can always get Grisham back because I'm sure he's going to be on the golf course. Nobody's going to pick him up. He's hitting 80 something. And just tell him not to bring Aaron Hicks with him because he's already out there on the golf course. for playing not quite this bad, honestly. But showing about as much effort as Gleyber Torres continues to show. Rizzo, 1 for 25 in June. Got one more hit in June than Michael Kay does. And I think given the way last season ended, with 3 months of no production because of that concussion, you have to assume something is wrong. Honestly, he should be on the injured list tomorrow with brain fog, and Ben Rice should be in the lineup playing first base. Gleyber Torres couldn't catch crabs from a $3 hooker. He's the worst second baseman in baseball. He's been hitting a little bit better, but once he gets on base, it's a 50-50 shot if he's going to get picked out, thrown out at third with 1 out, or thrown out at home with 2 outs. He's the worst base runner I've ever seen in my life, other than maybe Ruben Rivera. You're about 2 arms short in the bullpen. Luckily, we're getting Efros back, we're getting Trevino back, but they need a big-time arm or two. Whether it's Garrett Crochet, whether it's Tanner Scott, whether it's Mason Miller. I don't think they're going to get Mason Miller because I don't think the A's are going to trade him. But you got to find somebody better than Dennis Santana. We're all sitting here ready to give props to Michael Tonkin. He's been pitching well, but he's a guy who's been DFA'd 3 times this year. You're telling me that he's the best arm we could pick up? Let's go out and get something. And I'm not crapping on Tonkin because he pitched well and he's been pitching well. But we have got to go out and find a couple of lights-out relievers. This team's too good to expose the underbelly of the bullpen and of the Soto-less lineup. LeMahieu had a couple of hits tonight, made a nice play at third base, so maybe this is the beginning of him breaking out. But honestly, he hasn't shown me that much other than tonight. He's not hitting the ball with a lot of authority. Even tonight, his hits were, seeing eye single through the right side and a soft line drive to center field. He's not driving the ball with authority, which tells me the feet, there's something wrong with him because he's not generating that power from the feet up like he used to. We got some good prospects in the minor leagues, Dominguez is a switch hitter with power, contact ability, and a Juan Soto level batting eye almost. I mean, we've seen him spit on some very close pitches. I was just reading the book about Brian Cashman's era, the Yankee Way by Martino. I finished it. It's terrific. And they were talking about Gene Michael and how he used to talk about scouting and how certain hitters would, quote unquote, give up on the baseball or quit on the baseball when it's going to be clearly out of the zone, like Giambi did, like Soto does. And Dominguez is somebody who quits on the baseball if it's just going to be a little bit out of the zone. That's a special skill. Ben Rice, right now he's on a heater. I wouldn't think that he could do any worse than Rizzo, 1 for 25 in June. Augustin Ramirez, still stuck at Double-A, hit 3 home runs in a game the other night. He's got 15 home runs and a .953 OPS. Why is he not getting Triple-A at-bats? Well, we have to suffer through Austin Wells, who doing a nice job defensively, but has not hit. I mean, it's June 8th. He got off to a slow start. I get it. You got to have some time to get going, especially as a catcher, not getting regular at-bats. It's June 8th. Come on. Do something. Or go back down to AAA and learn how to play first base. Or learn how to hit. One or the other. Can't keep running out a lineup that is half dead. And we have proven that without Judge or Soto, the offense is just terrible. Time to inject some energy. One last thing before we get to the blow-by-blow, which I'm not going to really spend a lot of time on because it was a blowout. I was watching Jaws 2 today, and somehow the mayor from Jaws 1 was still the mayor in Jaws 2. It's very important to vote in your local elections, people. So, easy first inning for Nestor. Made Ohtani look silly on a slider. I thought he was going to have a good game. Yankees got off to a good start. First 2 hitters were Volpe and Verdugo. Both of them got hits. And that's as many hits as they had against Yamamoto last night. Volpe, by the way, extended his on-base streak to 34 games. Continues to play well.
That, please.
We had a comment tonight that haters are going to say that the Yankees don't beat good teams. And I'm like, newsflash, they don't. They got beat by the Orioles. They're getting beat by the Dodgers. Only good team that they've really played well against is the Twins and the Brewers. They hit the Brewers pretty well, but I think the Brewers are a little bit fool's gold. Anyway, top two, Teoscar Hernandez, who won the game in the 11th last night with a 2-run double, got the Dodgers on the board with a home run. He was not done. Yankees put two men on again in the second inning. Gleyber Torres and DJ LeMahieu both reached. They've been subject of a lot of scrutiny lately. Yankees tied it up on a fielder's choice by Austin Wells. Almost a double play, but got overturned on review. Third inning, Nestor was not sharp, put a few runners on, ended up serving up a go-ahead single to Shohei, who the Yankees have mostly contained in this series. Yankees tied it up in the bottom half on a solo home run by Judge, 22nd home run of the season. 16 home runs in the last 31 games, but he was not done. He's got 17 and 32 now. Gunnar Henderson second in the league with 20. Nestor settled down a little bit in the fourth, but served up a go-ahead home run to Kiki Hernandez in the fifth. He had a tough day. 2 home runs allowed.
It stinks.
Boone actually went to the bullpen on a 1-0 count, which you don't see that very often. Final line for Cortez, 5 1/3 innings, 7 hits, 4 runs, all of them earned. 1 walk, 4 strikeouts, just not that sharp tonight. Yankees loaded the bases in the 6th. I thought that was their best chance with 2 outs. Big spot for Volpe, but he popped out to left field to end the inning. Alex Vezias completely shut down the Yankees in the 7th. Teoscar Hernandez hit a grand slam to put the game away in the 8th. And then it got so bad that Oswaldo came in to pitch in the 9th. Judge hit a meaningless home run in the bottom of the 9th, 23rd of the season, 2nd of the game. But the Yankees lose their 2nd game in a row.
Mission failed. We'll get them next time.
You get nothing. You lose. Good day, sir.
You ain't first. You're
The
last.
Other Voices says, never seen a player crap out in a contract year like Gleyber Torres. Did you not see what Luis Severino did last year? Dude's ERA was like 7, maybe close to 8. He still got $12 million. I remember when Albert Bell signed for 5 years, $55 million, and the fact that he was getting $11 million per year just absolutely blew people away. And now you can stink and get $12 million per year. Although Severino, to be fair, he's turned it around with the Mets. He's having a good year. Finn Lodge says, I'm concerned about Heel tomorrow night, but hopefully the Dodgers got all their hits tonight. I feel like Heel has done everything possible this year. That he has stepped up every time he's had to. He outpitched Corbin Burns. He outpitched Luis Castillo. He's been the best pitcher in the American League, maybe best pitcher in Major League Baseball. I'm really looking forward to seeing what he can do tomorrow night. You want to avoid the sweep. I already lost $50 to Alana Rizzo. We had a bet on this series, so she gets it out of the way. I got to donate $50 to Guidry's Guardians, which is her dog foundation, which I'm happy to do. But anyway. Chris Balserio says, we need to bring up the Martian and forget about people's feelings. I agree. The Fishbone says, we lost to a better team. We need to step it up. Dodgers do have a very good team. They got a very deep lineup. They've got good pitching. They got a good bullpen. Yamamoto was terrific yesterday. But, look, this team's underbelly has been exposed. Without Juan Soto in the lineup, they are not a good team. Shane Johnson says, without Soto and awful Riz, this is 2023 Yanks. Pay up how? Appreciate the donut. Michael Pascione says, Soto was the balance to overcome the terrible back half of the lineup. Without him, too many dead bats. Even with him, really, too many dead bats. Imagine if we had really competent hitters at the corners. 2 extra bats in the lineup make a huge difference. Oswaldo maybe should get some more at bats. He was really performing well at the beginning of the season, but he's slowed down a lot. But we saw when you're getting production out of that spot in the order and out of that part of the field. I mean, look, it was huge. They basically sent the Astros into a spiral that they're just now starting to pull out from, although they got some pitching injuries now. Urquidy injured, having surgery, Anyway, it has not been a good series for Yankees fans. Let's go ahead and wrap it up.
I gotta get out of here!
Raymond Vellon says Rizzo should go and Judge should be at first base. I'm not opposed to Judge going to first base. He's never played there in a game. I don't even think he's played there in spring training. Bryce Harper did it. He had to train at it.
Game over, man. Game over.
But Rizzo, I could see him going on the IL if they discover that the concussion seems to be a problem. You remember, this was a reoccurring thing with Clint Frazier, too. He had that concussion. He missed some time. He came back, said he was fine, then couldn't hit. Guys feel like they're fine. They think they're fine. But the brain is a tricky thing. It's the most complex thing we know of in the known universe. And when you rattle it, a buddy of mine had surgery on his brain, has not been the same. Not been the same guy. Completely different dude. The brain's tricky. You rattle it, doesn't surprise me you can't hit a 97-mile-an-hour fastball anymore. But, all right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to call it a night. I'll be back after tomorrow night's game. Luis Hill on the mound. I'll be back with Terrence Ken, and we'll see you then.